I guess I might as well talk about my writing. I showed no signs of talent. I showed no signs of talent. And the fact I've been a writer for half a century and more now is insane to me still.
You were at Oberlin.
I was at Oberlin, but when I went to Oberlin, we had a literary magazine, and I was the fiction editor, and there was a poetry editor and an overall editor, and everything was submitted anonymously. And these two girls were just brilliant. And I would submit my short stories to be published which I was the fiction editor, and they would, and it was all anonymous, and they would look at it, and I was, so nervous. My story was coming up, and they would say, "Well, we can't publish this shit." And I would say, no, we can't publish this shit. And I never got anything published. I think I must have somewhere in my life 100 rejection slips from magazines. And no one had the least interest. I never got a little thing back saying, show us your next story. I remember once, this can't be true, but I think it is. I submitted something to the New Yorker, a short story, and I got it back the same day. Now, the mails are not that good. But I remember, as I opened my mailbox, there was this fucking story that I just sent out to the New Yorker. And I took a writing course at Northwestern and got the worst grade. I took a short story course at Oberlin and got the worst grade. And my dearest old friend is a fabulous figure in my life, John Kander, who has had an amazing success in Broadway. Kander and Ebb, they wrote Chicago and Cabaret and New York, and all. And Johnny was there, and I remember Kander saying one day we were having coffee, and that we had to submit a story the next day, and I'd written mine for weeks and been working on it. And he said, well, I got to go back to my room now and write the story. And I said, you haven't started it yet? And he didn't. And Johnny got B's and A's, and I got C's. I went in the Army in '52. Everybody was drafted. In those years, the Army was 16 weeks of basic training, 8 weeks of learning to throw a hand grenade and marching and how to use your rifle, and 8 weeks of something else. And because I knew how to type, I was sent to clerical school.